There we go. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Asanet Rivera, and this is a role play video clip. And again, it's just role play, and this is for class counseling 6322 marriage and family counseling. And this is for Houston Christian University. And today we have Tabby and Carlos that are participating in this role play. And what we are doing today is going over an assessment. This is not actual counseling therapy at the moment. At least they have not agreed to it yet. So they have each answered a questionnaire on their relationship, evaluating their relationship, their marriage. And so what we are doing today is going over their answers and basically going over the assessment. So, hi, Carlos and Tabby.
Hi.
How are
Hello.
you today?
We're doing great. How about you?
Awesome.
Awesome.
How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be
Good.
here.
We usually have candies for outside because it kind of puts the nerves down.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Okay, so what I was going over your questionnaires, and so I just wanted to, I guess, mention a couple of things. Carlos, on your questionnaire, we're using I'm looking over the intimacy thermometers, and you have you have scored the relationship in several areas very high, and it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. Emotional, recreational, physical, sexual, intellectual, and spiritual, um, which is awesome. And then I do see that you mentioned a couple of goals in reference to losing weight. And I was just to clarify, is that something that you are wanting to work as a personal goal, or is that something that you consider a situation um, with the relationship, or it's just a personal?
I think it's both.
Okay.
Because personal, you always want to, be healthy, and weight is one of those things that we always try to do. And I think for the relationship, I think it helps because well, then you want to be healthy for each other,
Great. And so, do you feel that you have, in this case, Tabby support? You have each other's support in encouragement in that area?
right? 110%.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you have your both encouragement.
Yes.
Okay, then, so that's good. Okay. And then with Tabby, on your answers also, um, you did have a lot of good on there. Um, could it be better or great? Great, not bad, not good. I do see a couple areas where you mark not good, not bad, and it's under resolving differences, and then also freedom from blaming my partner when things go poorly. Is there a little bit that you can say in reference to this, or clarify a bit more where these feelings are coming from?
I think on the question on the blaming, I'm not sure if it was like me understanding or him blaming me or me blaming him. I'm not sure. I didn't really understand the question.
Okay.
But I think it's something that if it's on my end, I feel that me as a wife, I have to work on blaming. If something goes wrong, well, I should take his side. I shouldn't blame it that, oh my gosh, it's your fault, or because of you we're here. You know what I mean? I don't like to play the blaming game, and I feel that in situations I like to talk about things, and well, you said it, no, well, you said it, and it gets a little messy because then there's no middle line and where we can actually say, okay, um, this is what happened, and okay, I agree, you know what, I apologize, but I don't blame you. So in that case. And so if it was vice versa, I feel that, if I was the one that was getting blamed and that I was constantly, I think that that's something that me as also as a partner, I love to share and to help, my husband understand where I come from, and then I can understand where he comes from, so that we both, can meet in the middle and understand the issue at that point.
Mhm.
Um, but I feel that the blaming, I don't like the blaming game. I really don't. I think that we can come to an area that we can both understand,
Okay.
and maybe that's something that we need to work on.
And then, how do you feel about that, Carlos? Do you agree with her, or
Yeah, I mean, we have to. Um, I agree with her with the blaming. A lot of times you get into that. You have the way I see it is it's not about who wins or loses, and a lot of times you get into a discussion, and it's more like, okay, I'm not blaming you. I just want you to understand me.
Mhm.
It's not about blame or whose fault. It's like I'm trying to understand you, and I want you to understand me, and then and a lot of times it's okay to agree to disagree. I mean, I don't think we have to agree on everything, and it's okay to disagree. So I mean, that's kind of pretty much what I see. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, let's keep that one in mind for now. Um, and then also on here, I see that a couple of your answers, Tabby. What do you see as the major problems in your relationship? Um, and then your answer on this one was disagreeing on raising the boys.
Mm. And it's not so much about disagreeing. I think it's the understanding.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's one of our topics that, actually this morning I just had a conversation with my son, with my youngest, and I tell them it's like, I'm not going to say that our relationship is like strawberries and cream, but I feel that most of our disagreements are most about not raising them because they're already grown, but it's more of the little small things that they do that might not he might not agree with them and I might not agree with them, but then it gets to a point that I even told him, it's like we we disagree on the things that when it has to do with them. You know what I mean? It's not so much on us. Like, we're great at the times, but then when it's something about taking the trash out, doing the dishes, who didn't take out the dishwasher today, like things like that, that's where it becomes not an argument.
It's
And
like triggers.
yes, there you go. They're like triggers. So it's like, so and he likes to not tell me a lot of things, but then he tells me because he wants for me to be, to be aware, right? Especially when I'm traveling and I'm not home. So he wants to keep me on the loop with everything. So when we have a discussion on it, I say, okay, well, what happened? Well, this, and that. Okay, well, did you say something? No, they should know. And it's like, it shouldn't just come from me. Like, you're now the dad in the house, right? So I feel that you should put your foot in and say, guys, this and that. No, but they should know. It doesn't work like that. I feel that that is something where I want him to help me in him telling them, hey, what's going on? Why aren't you guys doing this? Or who was supposed to do this and didn't do it? Instead of me always being that person, and I think it would kind of eliminate a lot of the misunderstandings or just those conversations if we can both agree on that, you know.
And Carlos, do you feel the same way, or did you with Tabby?
What was the question?
We're talking about, I guess, certain things with the boys sometimes are triggers in your guys'
In my yeah, there's some that are triggers, but I guess it's like I tell her, she as a mother has a certain way of being, and me as a dad, I see things a different way. Now, when you're talking about raising the boys, yeah, you're talking about young kids, but now we're talking about adults, 30-year-old, and a lot of things. Moms are more prone to, hey, did you take out the trash? Take out the trash. Why didn't you take out the trash? Hurry up and take the trash. And I expect, because they're adults, that it's like, hey, okay, guys, you're gonna take the trash. And that's it. They should already know because they're adults. And when they don't do it, I just let it be. I just let it be. And when I have a problem is when the mom has to do it. When she has to go to the backyard, pick up dog crap and take up heavy bags of trash. And that was like, why are you doing it? We have three grown men, and first, like, I get it. She doesn't mind doing it. And that's fine. And it's not about doing it, but the thing is about we all have responsibilities and we all need to help. We all do. She's got a lot of work, so I consider her more, and she doesn't mind. But that's where we kind of bump heads a little bit. It's like, maybe I don't know, maybe if I'm rough or tough, but I mean I guess that's how dads are. I'm not that type of dad that is like, Mijo, did you eat? Are you hungry? Want me to make you something? Because yeah, we're all grown. If you're hungry, get you something to eat. If there's food, there's no reason. So that's the way I am. And because a lot of times, you get home from work, you're tired. You can't always make a dinner. Sometimes you don't feel like it, and that's okay. But she constantly worries about that. Like, well, what did y'all eat? Well, how come nobody's cooked? And I understand her because I know her worry, but I'm just trying to get her to understand that she doesn't have to worry anymore because you already did your job. We're all grown. We could all take care of each other, especially when she goes out of town. Right? It's like everything's okay. There's food and nobody's starved. So I guess that just comes across a little cold. I don't know, and that's I guess it, right?
So pretty much on your end is your expectation is they should have an initiative, and on your end, you agree with that as well. That you sometimes
I
the
feel,
motherly
yeah, I feel that, just a reminder
parent.
doesn't hurt. I mean, I'm not home, and when I'm not home, it's like, I hear it, and it's like they haven't been doing this. Well, did you tell them? No, I didn't tell them anything. So that's where I wish that he can at least help me in just,
where you have a softer approach maybe and
yeah,
more patience.
yeah, and I do, but I think that puts me in a stress level, and then that's where I start worrying about how's everything at home. I don't even concentrate at work because I'm just thinking what's happening.
Or
hmm and I think that's just a feeling that I think, I myself, I have to work on. I have to work on of letting things be, but then that motherly comes in.
right. Okay. Okay. So I guess let's keep that also in mind for the moment. I was just checking my time. We're still good with time. Um, I have a couple more questions that I wanted to, I guess, address.
Mhm.
And some of these might be a bit repetitive on what we already talked. If they are, then we'll just move on. Okay. So this question is, why did you decide to seek couple counseling at this time? What caused you to call her for an appointment?
Um, I feel that for my, in my view, I feel that us getting some counseling kind of works so that we can both come into an understanding. I think if we have a mediator, it kind of works. Um, but for the most part, I think that it's something where, maybe we can talk about things, and not get upset, right? Because I don't like to get upset. I don't like to, and I like to fix things right there and then. That's who I am. I don't like to dwell on things. I don't like to walk out of a conversation. Um, and so I think that when we discussed about marriage counseling, I think it was something about maybe coming to an understanding in the perspective of someone else to see how you know they see us. Maybe they have some options of how we can do better, or or even just more hear each other out. I mean, I like to hear him out, and sometimes when we're at home, it's like our boys are there, and we don't like to discuss things around them. I feel that it puts a little um, I feel that it puts a little spine on the aura at home. I don't like that. So, you know, maybe this will help us to maybe communicate a little better. I don't know what you think, Ray.
Pretty much what you say, like it's just good having like a neutral party that could hear, both sides, and it's like somebody's an outside perspective is always good because then they see things that maybe we don't see, and I think it's like a good way to communicate.
Okay. Okay. Let me move to the next question. What are the most positive things about your marriage relationship? What are your strengths as a couple? What are the things What are the things that are the hardest for you?
Um, I'm sorry. The first question was.
What do you consider your strength as a couple?
We love each other. I love him. I mean, I love him. He is my soulmate. We were both single parents when we met. And I always tell him, like, you taught me how to love again. It's something that I never in my life ever thought that I was going to meet someone, and especially my soulmate. I always say that he's my soulmate because, he makes me laugh, he makes me happy. And I think the strength that we have is communication. I think that as long as we communicate, we have honesty, we trust each other, I think it works out. And for your last question,
What's the hardest for
what's
you?
the hardest? Um, and like I said, like, right, like our marriage isn't like sunshines and roses, right? But I think that sometimes it's something that I forgot the question.
What's the hardest?
Oh, it's the hardest. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was getting to that. I think the hardest thing is, for me, the hardest is when we have discussions about the same thing. And it's like, and sometimes he walks away, and I don't like that. That's the hardest for me. It's like I want him to sit down and talk to me. And when he walks away because he doesn't want to talk about it, or he's already upset, it's like, when are we gonna agree? When are we going to come to a agreement and just get over it?
And then for you, Carlos, what do you consider your
Strengths.
strengths in the relationship?
The strength that no matter what, I mean, it's not everything. I think not. It's not supposed to be perfect, but I think one of our strengths that we never disrespect each other, even if we don't agree on something, and sometimes we get heated. He doesn't. We never cross that line of disrespect,
Mm-hmm.
and we just. I mean, we communicate really good. I mean, we agree on a lot of things, but there's just certain topics that we just don't. Like, and it gets, and now we go to the hardest, right? And that's the hardest. That when we talk, I'm the type of person that I like to talk about it, and a lot of times when you talk about it and you don't come to an agreement, and it starts getting heated, and it starts getting, I prefer to walk away because now it's getting heated, and now it's getting worse. We're not discussing anymore. We're arguing, and we're getting mad, and it's like leave it there. But I don't I don't want to say that I go on it, but I cannot get over something that hasn't been like
Result.
resolved. So the next day I want to, okay, so what's going to happen with this, or what's going to happen with that? And a lot of times when the other partner doesn't want to talk about it, like yeah, we already discussed it. I don't want to talk about it. And the hardest part is me having to keep it and not talk about it because I like to talk about that. And that's one of the hardest things. You cannot talk about it because you know it's going to come up with a
Kind
kind of warmth, and it's going to be like another argument. So a lot of times, it's tiring. So just for the sake of not arguing, is not saying anything. It's just ignoring it basically. But it's always in the back of your head. I think that's the hardest part.
So sometimes when you're ready to talk about it, he's not ready, and then vice versa. Kind of like the dance. Or
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
okay. Let me go to the next question. Tell me a little bit about how you met and give a general history of your relationship.
How we met? We met on a dating app. And again, like I said earlier, like we were both single for like 16 years each. So I think at that point of my life, like I wasn't looking for anyone to date. But I think that when I met him, something just it clicked, something just clicked, and I was just like, oh my gosh, he's the one. And I felt it as a person. I felt it in my heart. And you know um, the way we met, it was like a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't do dating apps, but we did. And a lot of, we've been together for 8 years. And so I think that we've grown with each other within 8 years. We just recently got married. We did um what's it called, we did the no, he would leave out of town. No, like he lived in another town. Oh, and we did the long distance relationship. You know, and that was hard at some point. So we came to a decision of coming together. And of course, in the beginning, it's hard, but I, again, like he says, we communicate, we love each other. So it made it so much easier because we basically love everything that what each other, what I like, he likes, and we love to do things. We love to travel, and I think that's amazing to just be with someone who loves the same things as you do.
Okay, and then we move on to the next question. Okay, and I guess this one would be separate for each one of you. So imagine that you went to bed tonight, and while you were sleeping, uh, God answered all your prayers
Uh huh.
for your relationship,
Okay.
and He performed a miracle. and you wake up, what would be different in your relationship?
What would be different?
Suddenly everything's perfect.
Um, what would be different
in the relationship.
in the relationship itself?
No, I mean,
In the relationship, I mean, I can basically say that I can say that our relationship isn't perfect, but I think that we have so much fun, and I can't really say that I would change anything. I love the way we are. I think that little disagreements makes our relationship stronger. So, I mean, in a relationship, I just feel that we're gonna grow old together, and if we grow old together and we have all that understanding, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's just you know, um, my parents have been married for over 50 some years, and I mean, I saw so many things, but I always tell them, like, I want to learn from that. I want to have our own relationship. And so for me, I wouldn't change a thing. I think that all of these little obstacles and disagreements makes our relationship stronger. Um, I wouldn't walk away from relationship because I think that he is my soulmate and I love him and I want to grow old with him.
And Carlos, even if it's not any, a change that would make it perfect, but better, if not perfect.
but I just woke up. Is that a trick question? Uh, no, nothing. I mean, I wouldn't change anything. We we somehow tend to always work things out, and no, I don't think I would change anything.
Okay. Okay. Okay, then let's move to the next one. Okay. As far as spirituality, I noticed in your assessments that
And I
both
wrote
of
some
you. Okay, your spirituality for both, as far as the assessment, you scored it as something very important for both of you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Um, if there is an interest in faith, how does faith play a part in the problems in your relationship? How might your faith play a part in the solutions to your relationship struggles?
Pray. Pray. I mean, there's only one God, and I think that we are so very blessed. Um, I was asked the other day, if I'm happy because do I make that much money? And I said, no, it's not all about money. It's about having my health, and as long as I have my health, I'm very blessed because without my health, I can't work, I can't function, and I can't provide for my family. Um, and the thing is that we have long goals, and that's something that I work for, you know. I think that, praying, at the table like we do every night, and, we pray for everyone and for our families. I think that that comes a long way, and as long as you have that faith that everything will be great and everything will just be okay, and have faith in God because He's the only one that can lead our path.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I mean, having faith is like the glue to the family. You know, without faith and without religion, without God, we don't have unity. And that's the key to everything. You know, hope, prayer,
Okay.
kind of keeps you grounded.
Okay, so if we decide after today that we want to engage in couple therapy or sessions, would you consider sharing maybe prayer at the beginning?
Oh, that'd be
A couple
great.
of scriptures that can help. Okay. Next question. Address any other issues of diversity? Um, I guess race, age, culture. I guess we don't have any
No, we're both.
diversity. Yes.
No, we're both Hispanics, and we see the same
Mm-hmm.
views, um, especially in our families. And even if we didn't, I don't think that we're nowhere to judge. Um, only God does that. So we live um, we live day by day, and diversity. I don't think I've ever seen myself different from anyone from being ethnicity or um, a woman or a man. Well, sometimes, right? But other than that, no, I don't see color. I don't see none of that.
Right. And then in this case, you're both your culture is similar, your background, your so we
Yes.
that, yeah, that wouldn't really apply in this case. Okay, so that's those are all of the questions
Okay.
that I have as part of the assessment. And just as an overall, um, you guys are very committed to each other, which is great. You guys have very similar values in the relationship, and so that's always a plus. Um, and so if you decide that you want to continue with the next step, what I can do is work a plan and see if there's any activities or something that we can work together in our next session if we decide to engage in counseling. And maybe what we could address, those areas where you might have disagreements on where the walking away or
Like the pros and cons.
the pros and cons. Um, and then again, you're the experts in your marriage because you live together. It's your marriage. Um, I wouldn't be the expert, so I would just go by with what you tell me. Um, and so I just wanted to say that. But and so yeah, well, that would be the next step if
Okay.
you decide to engage in.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. We'd love to help. We'd like to see what else we can do to make it fun.
Okay. Well, we'll I guess we'll talk later. Maybe give me a call. I can give you a call and see
Okay.
what day works for you guys. Maybe in a week or two from now.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you for coming in today.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
Thank
Yes,
you.
it's been a pleasure.
Yes.
Likewise.